Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
Mic check, 1, 2. Hey, welcome to another edition of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. Welcome to the show. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tell a friend, and do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. So, as you guys know how we do over here in Trippin with Theobold Studios, we got to get started with the tongue twisties. We got to get the brain and the tongue coordinated so there'll be less trippage on the show. So you guys can either read along with me or watch me struggle. The choice is yours. You always have a choice over here in Trippin with Theobold Studios, aka Do-It-Yourself Productions. All right, so here we go. Today's tongue twisty is brought to you by the letter Y. Y. So here we go. Number 1. Yolanda Yvonne Larger yodeled up yonder yesterday. That don't make no damn sense. But like these tongue twisties aren't supposed to make sense. But here we go. Let's try it again. Yolanda Yvonne Larger yodeled up yonder yesterday. We're going to do it 2 more times because the first one really didn't count. All right, here we go. Yolanda Yvonne Larger yodeled up yonder yesterday. Last time. Yolanda Yvonne Larger yodeled up yonder yesterday. Number 2. Yellow yo-yos, yellow yo-yos, yellow yo-yos. That was pretty easy. One more game. Yellow yo-yos, yellow yo-yos, yellow yo-yos. And for the final time, yellow yo-yos, yellow yo-yos, yellow yo-yos. And last tongue twisty, number 3. Yolanda Yonda yearned for yellow yolks yesterday. Yeah, she's yearning from that. She's yearning for that yolkage. Them eggs. Let me stop. Yolanda Yonda yearned for yellow yolks yesterday. Final time. Yolanda Yonder yearned for yellow yolks yesterday. And yay, tongue twisters are done. Got those out the way. I don't know what it is, man. Every time I start recording, man, my nose be itching, man. Man, sorry about that. Man, I don't know why my nose just be itching. It's like my nose hairs be heckling me. Pause. I mean, that's not pausable. But nah, it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, I'm not on that stuff, right? I can't cuss shit because I'm only at the 3-minute, 30-minute mark. Got to wait till 4 minutes go by so we can talk free-ish or kind of free. But before I do that, let me show y'all some merch. Some prototype merch. So, this is the Mark 1 version of the Trippin with Theobold hoodie. Haven't worn it yet. I'm wearing it for a special occasion. Wink, wink. But nah, here it is, man. I think I showed you photos of it last week, but this is the front of the hoodie. Real basic hoodie. Nothing too fancy. Oh, I think I'm messing around. Yeah, nothing too fancy. You know what I'm saying? And this is the back of the hoodie. You know? So these are not for sale yet. Like I said, this is just prototype merch. You know, this is me getting high off my own supply. You know, you got to get high off your own supply before you start to try to distribute. Well, not in the, I don't know about the narcotic game or the drug game. I don't mess with that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to merch and your own brand, you have to get high off of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the reverse of, you know, the drug game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get high off your own shit first. Okay, I can cuss now. Good. Okay. But yeah, so that's the Mark 1 version of that. I'm gonna have a zip hoodie version of that. and I got my new logo. If you guys haven't watched my old episode, I'm not gonna pull it up right now, but I got my AT logo, so I got that. So like I said, I'm gonna have one of each. I'm gonna be rocking it. That's gonna be my attire. That's gonna be my brand. And then late end of this year or early next year, my goal is to get with a distributor to find out how I can make this available to you guys for a nominal fee, But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand. So today's topic is why not blockchain voting, right? That's the topic of today. Why not blockchain voting? Why not? That's what I'm tripping on, man. Like we have all this technology, right? We up here going to the moon, got electric vehicles, all this internet, all this blockchain, and why can't we use it for voting? Right? Why not? So that's what I'm tripping on. That's what I'm tripping on right now, man. I don't so first of all, let me go ahead and just kind of give you the whole theory behind blockchain, right? So if you don't know about blockchain, basically blockchain is the foundation of cryptocurrency, right? But it's not just used for cryptocurrency. It can be used for a whole lot of other things, right? Like the main purpose of blockchain is to verify transactions. That's pretty much it. It's basically your validate. I'm not going to get into the how. This is not a how-to course on blockchain. This is just theory. We over here tripping. That's what we doing. We tripping. So my biggest problem with voting is I just don't trust the shit. Never have, and to me, the way we vote is dumb. Especially now in this age with all this blockchain. It's stupid. Right? Just take a step back and look at what y'all doing or what we doing, right? Because I do vote every now and again. I vote. Okay, that's besides the point. All right. But let's just take a step back and look at what we do when we vote, right? When we vote, you put something on a piece of paper, or you go somewhere and you put something on a piece of paper, and then it goes in this magic box, and then people count it, and then CNN has this big Super Bowl grandiose event where they show the country state by state, and they basically report on all the tallies that come in to see who won the election, right? That's basically what happens, right? Now, of course, you got the electoral college and all that. I'm not getting into all that, but basically at a big picture, we put something on a piece of paper, it goes into a box, it gets counted by strangers that we don't know, and then we watch CNN to hype us up, to tell us who won, and then we either get mad or we get happy, right? That kind of sounds like a hustle to me. I'm sorry. That's just, how I think. Now, I'm not saying that the theory of voting is dumb, but just the implementation of how we do it is dumb. Like, yeah, we should all feel proud for, having a say in this country, quote unquote, but the way we do it is real stupid. I'm sorry. You can get mad at me all you want. It's a very emotional process. And to me, blockchain would take all the emotion out. Right? So the whole concept behind blockchain is there's an open ledger, There's an open ledger to where you can go back and verify what it is you said that you did. So in theory, a way this could work is, your what is it? Your not voter ID, but your taxpayer ID, right, could be converted to a unique number string or some unique string. You take that and only you know what your string is, and then you go make your votes, and then the votes all get computed into a hex string where only you can see the hex string. And then that hex string goes into the blockchain universe, right, where it all gets unpacked. And then if you want to verify to make sure that you voted for who you said you voted for, you pull open the ledger, you look for your taxpayer unique, or you look for your unique identification string associated with your taxpayer ID, and then you look at the hex string that was computed from what you selected, and then you just verify it. And then if you want to, you can even then pull everything else out in the ledger, and then you can just tally it up yourself. You can download the shit and just tally it up yourself, you know? But the whole thing is that when it's open ledger, like, I'm not going to know someone else's string, you know, like, for example, like if you deal with like cryptocurrency, if you perform a transaction with another person, you know, only you and the other person know like that only you and the other person know about that transaction. But your wallet that you use to pay, you know, there's a way to do the shit, is all I'm trying to tell you, right? There's a way to do it, right? And look, I'm not saying that we have to abandon the way we do it right now, but we should be converging to something better. We should be evolving, and we're not evolving. We doing the same shit the same way and expecting new results. That's insanity. That's stupid. Right? That's always, look, they should be running this in parallel, right? Where they have the blockchain version in parallel, and then they have the traditional way in parallel, and then you run them side by side, and then you look at the popular vote versus the popular vote that was done via blockchain, right? And if you line those up side by side, you should be able to say, you know what, it's a good checks and balance, you know. And even if we don't convert fully to blockstring, even though we don't convert all the way fully to blockchain, we could use blockchain to check and balance what came out from the results. And then if the results not year after year, but, you know, time after time after time over time, you could say, you know what, we can trust blockchain. There's no need to do this paper shit. Right? So, to me, whenever people say we can't, or it's like, just like, think about it, right? Like, there was a time when we were riding horse and buggy, right? And then someone came along and said, you know what? If we have four wheels and a motor, we could probably, you know, get to where we want to get to faster. Now, if everybody said, nah, man, we gotta stick with this horse and buggy shit. Horse and buggy is the best way. We got some crazy new futuristic person that wants to put an engine on four. That's stupid. So if we had that same mentality that we have now for voting for, you know, the automobile industry, we still be riding horse and buggy right now. Right? The whole thing is, everything is supposed to evolve. This is what this channel is about. It's about evolution. Right? Y'all can go back and look at episode 1 of Trippin with Theobold, or you can go back and look at episode 1 of my podcast, because it wasn't even called Trippin with Theobold. It was just a TBD podcast until I come up with a name for it. And what happened? Things evolved. Right? So to me, from my experience, whenever you have a simple process and you have technology to make things even simpler, and people don't want to do it, there's probably a hustle at play. Oh yeah, there's probably a hustle at play. Let's take a look at school and education, right? So for those of y'all that don't know me, if you don't know me, I hate school, but I love education, right? Or better yet, I don't fuck with school I'm not gonna say I don't fuck with school because you gotta fuck with it to get the piece of paper. But school to me is a poor implementation of education. Education is about learning how to think for yourself. School most of the times doesn't teach you how to think for yourself. They want you to memorize some shit to say that you can go along to get along so you can be a part of society, right? So that's where, to me, school and education kind of like go awry, you know? So for example, when you look at school, it's the same argument I had a few podcasts ago. Why are we still fucking with textbooks? We got all this internet, all these computers, all these tablets. We got all this WhisperNet, all these Kindles, but we still fucking with textbooks. And the reason we still fucking with textbooks is because someone on the other side wants to keep making money. That's the main reason why. It's about money. Like someone has a process and they said, hey, look, the way school works is you got to pay $500 for a textbook. So you go out there and you pay $500 for a textbook, and then you're making somebody else rich. And then when you're done with the textbook, well, better off, when you have the textbook, the teachers don't even use like 10% of the textbook most of the time. And then when you're done with the textbook's only worth like $15. So we getting hustled. Now here's the thing, right? I'm not saying I'm saying this. If somebody really wants to still fuck with textbooks, then make them pay the price to print that shit out and to get a textbook. But you got other people out here that, you know, want to have shit on a Kindle. Like right now, like there should be an iBook where it's like, you know what, I got this pad, or like an iPad or whatever, and I have like a stylus. And if I want to highlight shit and if I want to go to a book, I can do that. But it's just no excuse, man. There's none. So whenever there's a hustle, so whenever there is no progress, but all this technology around the shit, there's a hustle at play, right? And that's what I really feel with voting. I feel like, you know, it's a way to keep a pulse on the people. Really, I think voting is social engineering. That's what I think it is. Really, at the end of the day, it's social engineering. You know, because when you pair that up with propaganda and everything else, people get all worked up and all emotional over something that they haven't really thought about. They just know what they saw and they know how they feel about something, or they think they know how they feel about something, you know, but we're going to get into that. And we're going to get into that in another episode. But today's episode is just, man, why not blockchain? Talk to me. Right? If you guys, you know, disagree, or if you agree, or if you have better ideas, put it in the comment section. Let me know. Let's have a conversation about it. You know, because I've been banging this bell for a long time, man. Like Elon Musk, I saw him, I saw he had a tweet, or he keeps tweeting about other countries and how they're able to count, or he talks about how like in other countries you have other like voting processes, and you see a mass amount of people come together to count millions of votes, and then he's praising that. And I'm like, dude, it's like we have all this technology. It's like it's not needed. Like, I mean, right now it might be needed, but why aren't we trying to converge to something else? Like, I don't see us really trying to evolve in that area. You know? So with me, I like to, at the very least, I want to be able to verify that I said, I want to be able to verify that I voted for who I said I was voting for. But right now it's a magic black box. You don't know. You're supposed to just trust the system. Just trust it, man. It's like, hey, man, and sometimes you just got to sit back and you just got to trust it, man. At some point, you just have to just accept it as the truth. I'm like, okay. Okay. If that's what you want to do, then knock yourself out. But I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to make a better way, you know? So, but yeah, but like, what are y'all thoughts, man? I'm curious because I haven't really, every time I bring this up, it's like I can see people just kind of look at me with like a deer in the headlights, like, and then they don't even really say nothing. Right? Like that's the kind. So really, I'm giving you guys some more insight as to what type of engineer I am, right? So I'm the type of engineer when I go into a room, I sit back and I listen, and I'm not afraid to ask the dumb questions or the obvious questions. Like I'm not afraid. I have no vanity, you know? Like I'm the type of dude where I'll go into a meeting and people will say, "Hey man, we're gonna bring you to the meeting. We just need you to sit down and just take notes and just don't say anything, okay, dude?" I'm like, "Okay, all right." And I'll go into this meeting and I'll watch all these geniuses talk about all these, or talk about a design that they're working on, or they're doing all these things. And I can tell that they haven't looked at certain things that I've looked at. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm just saying that they didn't cover everything, right? So I come to this meeting humbly with like one or two things in my basket, you know? And if these one or two things in my basket have been addressed, I shut the fuck up, you know? But if they haven't been addressed, I'm gonna ask, hey, shh, no, dude, be quiet, man. So I'm the kind of guy where I'm in the meeting, and when I'm watching people drive the train off the track or drive the car off the cliff, I'm the person in the room that says, "Hey, what about this? Hey, there's a cliff over there. Are you gonna turn left?" And then there'll be a pause, or people will just like they'll like pause, or they'll put their head down. And then they'll go back to saying what they've been saying as if I didn't say anything. So I'm like, okay, let me shut the fuck up. I don't say that, but I think that, you know? And then months and months will go by, and then they'll come back to that same question. And then they'll be like, hey, didn't someone ask that question before? And then they'll be like, and then someone else will either go take credit for the question. "Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I believe I asked that back in February." You know? Or they'll be like, "Yeah, no, I don't think anyone did ask that, man. Hey, good job for bringing that up." And then they address it. And, you know, of course I don't get no credit for the shit, but whatever. I get my money, I get my paycheck. That's the main important thing, you know? I get my paycheck and I go home and I try to reinvest my money to where I can get far fuck away from them, you know? But I'm not trying to sound like no genius, but nigga, I be asking questions. And I'm not afraid. Look, I'm not afraid of my ignorance. You know, shout out to Dr. Antonio. You know, that was one of his biggest things in class. You know, he said, never be ashamed of your ignorance. You don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I bring this question today. Like, why not blockchain for voting? Why not? Right? And like a lot of times in like a technical environment, what'll happen is when people don't want to do something, they'll try to make you look dumb, right? Or they'll try to make you feel stupid, right? They'll be like, "Dude, come on, man. Like, what school did you go to, man? Like, man, if I were you, I would just ask for my money back, dude." Right? They try to take shots at you, at your personality. And I'm like, look, man, you can take shots at me all you want. I'm about progress and the product. You know what I'm saying? Stop acting like a bitch and get rid of that vanity. But that's what, at the end of the day, it's about. Most of the times, it's about just going along to get along. That's what this shit is about. Going along to get along. And I'm not cut like that. If I see bullshit, I'm gonna call bullshit. That's just who I am. If I got a question, I'm gonna ask that shit. And if people ignore it or act like it's not a valid question, or they try to downplay me, okay, cool. I just turn off my thinking and I'm like, okay, how do I go along to get this check? And I shut the fuck up. It's real simple. But I feel like I'm getting away from the pod right now. I feel like I'm getting away from the topic at hand. The topic at hand is, why not blockchain for voting? Why can't we use it? Why not? In the comment section, I want to hear y'all come out and say, we can't do it because of this. We can't do it because of X, Y, and Z. oh, according to this and how blockchain works, this is this, or this is the problem we would have to solve if we were to do this. But don't come at me with no, oh, come on, dude, it's just too hard. I'm like, man, you know, get the fuck out of here. I mean, stay, because I need the followers, you know. But I'm just keeping it real, man. Why not make the shit simple? Right? Like, look, imagine if we had blockchain voting, there would be no need for CNN to have this big Super Bowl event when it comes to the voter tally up shit at the end or during election season. There'd be no need for it. If you want to see who's in the lead, man, go check the ledger. Go check the ledger. And then better yet, this could be a cornerstone for something bigger, right? Like, you could basically incentivize people to want to do their taxes. Yeah. Did you think about that? Did you think about that? Think about it. If you want to vote, motherfucker, you got to pay your taxes. Link all that shit. But like I said, man, I know nothing. I know nothing. I'm just a man that's over here tripping on thoughts. That's all I do. I just trip. So, I think I've ranted enough on this. Yeah, before I go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. AT is where it's at on most forms of social media, so follow me. Follow me. But yeah, so like I said before in the comment section, let me know what your thoughts are. So, without further ado, I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Yep. Trippin with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin. Yep. Trippin. Trippin. Trippin with Theobold.
Trippin with Theobold.